Let me move on to a subject that I know all of you have been waiting for me to discuss, and that is Skip Bayless and the show Undisputed on FS1. Skip Bayless showed up on Monday after, I think, approximately a 2 month hiatus. Once Shannon Sharp departed, and ultimately they went on hiatus after the NBA Finals. They either were unable or unwilling to see the replacement sitting across from Skip Bayless for a couple of months. As a result, Skip Bayless was off the airwaves, so was Undisputed. And Monday, August 28th, they revealed their new lineup. Skip Bayless is the moderator now, no longer is there a moderator. And joining him is one of the great cornerbacks in the history of the National Football League, a champion, Richard Sherman. One of the great wide receivers in NFL history, Keyshawn Johnson, also a Super Bowl champion. Richard Sherman for the Seattle Seahawks, Keyshawn Johnson for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and of course the playmaker himself, a three-time Super Bowl champion, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the game, Michael Irvin. They all joined Skip Bayless, and they will all be a part of Undisputed on a regular basis. Pretty much Keyshawn Johnson every day, Richard Sherman most of those days. From what I'm being told, Michael Irvin, in all likelihood, will be there on Fridays and Mondays. I don't usually comment about the competition. Unless they say something about me, I leave them be. I'm bringing up Undisputed because Skip Bayless ultimately had a conversation with Richard Sherman that involved me, and I'll get to that in just a second. But as an aside, let me say this. I'm going to reiterate something that I said last week because I think it's important for y'all to hear. I'm pretty cool with Richard Sherman. I got a lot of love for him. Whatever troubles he had in the past, a lot of people were willing to throw shade on him. That was never me. I got a lot of love for Richard Sherman, who is nothing short of brilliant. He is a brilliant brother. He was an elite cornerback. And obviously his education, being from Compton, going to Stanford, being the brilliant mind that he is, a football savant, if ever there was one. I've always had a lot of respect for Richard Sherman. And I'm really, really happy that he is on television. He clearly is in a position he wants to be in. I know he was doing some Thursday night football for Amazon, if I remember correctly. But it's good to see him doing his thing. Keyshawn is my brother. Keyshawn and I go back more than 20 years. Believe it or not, shockingly enough, I was once engaged. Believe it or not, yes, that is true. Stephen A. Smith was once engaged. And my very first date that I went on with my ex-fiance more than 20 years ago was at Keyshawn Johnson's old restaurant near Wilshire and Robertson. And Keyshawn always, always, always treated me like a brother. And I've always had love for him, and I love him. I love him dearly. And I was not happy to see him gone because I love the job that he did on First Take. I know how brilliant of a football mind he is, but he's a genuine friend and a brother that I love dearly, that I will vouch for any day of the week. And if I'm in a foxhole, that's a brother I want with me because he's a real one. So I'm happy for him. And of course, I'm happy for the playmaker. And I'm going to reiterate something that's very unpopular. I think it's a travesty what happened to Michael Irvin over the last few months. There was a woman, allegedly, supposedly, whether it was her or it was the company itself, that accused him of saying something inappropriate or whatever the case may be. The NFL, meaning the NFL Network, sent Michael Irvin home from the Super Bowl. Pulled him from their coverage. That was bad enough. But for him to have an accusation levied against him that ultimately jeopardized his career, and to this day, all we've seen is a 45-second video of him conversing with a young lady in the lobby and then walking away, and she walked away. We have no audio. We have no accusations that extend beyond that specific experience, for him to be off the airwaves since February, to be off the airwaves that long, and to have his job in jeopardy, his future in jeopardy, is a travesty. And somewhere along the way, and I'm one of those guys, look, you do the crime, do the time. Whatever ramifications or repercussions for your insidious actions you deserve, I'm down for that. But I have to admit to you, as a black man, it was incredibly scary. And it's something that I articulated to some folks in positions of power at various networks who will remain nameless. When I came to the defense of Michael Irvin, I hesitated because, again, we didn't have all the facts. And I said, okay, well, let's see. But when week after week and month after month went by and not a damn piece of evidence came forward, I said, wait a minute. So somebody who doesn't happen to be black, who is a female, gets to stand before a black man for 45 seconds. Nobody hears what they said to one another. He didn't touch her other than to shake her hand, if that. And they walked away from each other, and that's all it takes for this man to lose his career. What the hell does that say about the rest of us? So with that in mind, understand it was really good to see those three brothers on the air. Now, I wasn't too happy because two of them was working with me last year on First Take. One of them is somebody that I wanted at ESPN for years in Richard Sherman. And all three of them are now on Undisputed. But I love them all. I got love for Richard Sherman, who I don't know that well, but I got love for him and profound respect for that brother. But Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson are my brothers in every sense of the word. Richard Sherman's obviously my brother too, but you know, brothers, black men. But Keyshawn and Michael Irvin are friends that I know very, very, very well. So I'm very happy for them. I'm not happy for myself. But First Take's going to continue to do what it does. We've been number one, and damn it, we're going to stay number one if I got anything to say about it. And that's what I got to say about that.